Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking the dreaded D-Rose report. Sorry about not being on here yesterday, but got busy working outside. The wife's off on vacation all this week. Plus, I was coming into the house here, or by the house on the road, and there was a paint truck. Carried a lot of red, blue, and black paint. Wrecked. Crashed. Cars were marooned for hours. Anyway, I wanted to do a little bit something different here. I got some news after this, but seen Mick Foley, I think about a month or so ago, downtown at Crackers Comedy Club. Great guy, nice guy and stuff. He wrote this about issues about his spine and things like that. This is all written by Mark Middleton, but this is kind of interesting. It tells you, what life after wrestling, and this is awful. All right, seeing Dr. Maroon, he says, on WWE last night, talking about Daniel Bryan's neck surgery, brought back some tough memories for me. He says, about 3 years ago, I thought there was a surgical procedure that might bring some relief, especially from the sciatic nerve pain that I've been under constant pain for the past, for a constant big part of my past life, for several years. So Dr. Maroon was set to perform minimally invasive surgery, and I had high hopes as I, headed to Pennsylvania for a final pre-op appointment. But it was there in Pittsburgh where Dr. Maroon, one of the top surgeons in the country, spelled out the facts as he saw them. He says, "I'll never forget his words." He said, "You just got too many issues." Meaning that even surgery with other problems brought on by my particular style of wrestling were, too numerous and complex for any one specialist to solve. Says, I wish I'd done everything I could have done to get healthy while I was still under contract with WWE, but the company was certainly, they would be willing to help me. But after the 1-2 punch of being told by two top brain specialists that I should never wrestle again, Dr. Maroon was telling me that even neurosurgery wasn't likely to cure all for what's ailing me. It's just that, he said, I just kind of gave up. He says, I stopped believing that there was any hope I'd ever live a normal life. Instead, I threw myself into becoming a performer, telling stories on stage, and beginning to look forward to my December visit to St. MICK all year. Says, I don't escape from any traditional pain resolving through alcohol or pills. He said, especially every night when I have the chance to step on stage, share my stories with the crowd. He said, it really doesn't matter if there's 100 people there or 100,000, as long as I'm connecting with the audience and creating reaction. Says, I feel like I'm back at Madison Square Garden with 20,000 people in the palm of my hands. In December, it was only 6 months away. Plus, I've got, a chiropractor, Don Moore, formerly Dr. Porter in FCW, FCW, who has both my legs almost the same length again. And I'm going to answer the call of DDP Yoga one of these days. He said, I may walk slowly, but I walk my own path to the beat of my own drummer, and I enjoy the sights and the smells of a less traveled path. I hate hearing stuff like that, because, man, he gave us his all. If it wasn't for us, he wouldn't have been doing all that silly stuff. He wanted to entertain, and, but now you got to pay for it. And a lot of those broken bones and joints and stuff like that, they'll end up with, arthritis, bursitis, everything that just builds up in joints from things like that. But just calcium buildup. So when he was on stage down there, he mentioned he loves riding roller coasters, and he said the doctor told him, no more roller coasters. You can't take the neck bobbling on the roller coaster. It would just, you can't do it. And when he walked in from the car, we were outside, we met him, our pictures are on the Facebook page, but met him outside there, and nice guy, smiling the whole time, yet he had a horrible limp, just all. I felt bad. I really did, man. But he smiled and did the show. Sound good. And he's got to miss it. All right, let's get on to some news. Let's just let you know, we're not going to see him in wrestling. Just can't, shouldn't. Batista talked about coming back to WWE, believe it or not, finding a groove and getting back in WWE. He says, well, somewhere along the line I found my groove and it felt good. He says, I only stayed away so long because it took me longer than I thought it would do to do things. He says, I wanted to, the things he wanted to accomplish. But at the end of the day, he says, I love being a professional wrestler. That live, automatic feedback is what I crave. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. WWE Sting DVD and Blu-ray is now up for pre-order, by the way, on Amazon if you got any extra money. The set's going to be released September 23rd of this year. And beginning 4th of July, Disney will be showing a special preview of the Marvel Guardian of the Galaxy movie in 3D at Walt Disney World's Hollywood Studios theme park and at Disneyland. And Batista, the star of the movie, is, of course, he's Drax, the Destroyer. Deadline.com reports that Chris Jericho is starring in a new Comedy Central digital series called Team Tiger Awesome. Don't know anything about it. The series supposedly follows a loose cannon detective played by Jericho and his played-by-the-book partner, Nick Mundy, who's also, anyway, he's one of the show's writers. And Chris Jericho's character and Mundy's character killed time on endless stakeouts by sharing feelings with each other. Oh. And Team Tiger Awesome will premiere later this year across the multiple platforms, I guess. Syndicated, in other words. Lillian Garcia and her band is going to be giving away 2 free tickets to WrestleMania 31, by the way, 2015 Hall of Fame, Raw, and WrestleMania 31 access at her show in Vegas on June 14th at Sunset Station Hotel. I'd like to be there for that for 2 reasons. Hey, The Rock is being featured, filming his 3D disaster movie San Andreas in Australia. He tweeted the following. He said, just wrapped up a massive post-earthquake scene for Andreas. To the hundreds of background for actors and extras, he says, thank you for your hard work. Now here's a little synopsis for Thursday night's Legend House show on WWE Network. It says, Pat Patterson attempts to reveal a lifelong secret to the group, and the WWE Legends send each other off in style with a party. Would it be that Pat Patterson is gay? Let's see if I'm right. WWE's returning to the Target Center, Minneapolis, Minnesota after last night's Raw. The pre-sale, if you're going to get it, WWE Pre. That's the password. Hogan tweeted the following about last night's Raw. He said, watching Raw reminds me of the good old days when I lived in Minneapolis. The crowd stood through the whole match. It's electric, brother. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.